A year ago, I would have woken up to at least a handful of people out and about so early on this August morning. Instead, I now wake up to no one. The silence is deafening. I barely recognize my own neighborhood. It's not any more familiar once I enter the trains. What's a usually packed train station is just as empty as the streets. COVID safety procedure flyers sit on every elevator. All train stations have markers for 6 feet distance on the walls and on the platforms themselves. My train ride was just as somber as my walk to the station itself. 2 months later, to the untrained eye, the streets of New York City are way more packed. But to a born and raised New Yorker such as myself, this is nothing compared to what I usually see. To a person just trying to survive this pandemic, though, the numbers itself are still a little disheartening, especially when you take into account that not everyone practices safe COVID procedures. Taking into account how many establishments have either been open or just recently opened up again with new restrictions to ensure everyone's safety and health, plus the sight of more people outside, I began to wonder, how does New York City's future look? New York City has definitely gotten better than it was back in March when I came back from CHC, but are we doing enough to keep things well? With these questions in mind, I set out to figure it out by interviewing as many people as I can. In the first part to this report, I set my sights on Mamasushi, a popular Dominican and Japanese fusion restaurant that's been open since March. Recently, they brought back employees to work outside dining and delivery, as well as resumed inside dining so long as they limit capacity. Have you noticed a loss of customers?
Oh, definitely, yes. We say like more than 80%, something like that.
Have you had any challenges from outside dining?
Yes, a lot of challenges. Because first of all, we are como at the beginning is like a little tricky porque las personas como que no quieren, tienen miedo con la cuestión del distanciamiento y todo eso. So another thing is that most of them when they decide like go out, it was full of people, so nobody wanna wait. Everybody doesn't understand that they you have to be sitting for 2 hours. They don't want that. You know, it's a lot. As soon as the people realize that they pueden salir por un ratico que pudieron salir, ahí se volvieron locos. Todo el mundo fuera. So they don't understand that a 11 tú tienes que cerrar, ¿no? Entonces todo eso fue un problema muy grande.
Have you been worried about a second wave of COVID happening, or are you taking any precautions, protocol to make sure the environment's safe for customers, workers, and yourself?
I mean, everybody expecting that, including the city. The city, they just give like a scanner that we have to scan every customer that going inside 90. So we have a record if something happens. So everybody expecting that, you know. But precaution, yes, we're taking all the precautions. We have hand sanitizer all around. You can see we have everything. We keep it social distance, you know. It's all the precautions that the city tells us we are taking. It's a lot, but we have to deal with it. But we're taking care of it. Estamos trabajando en eso.
Their interview opens my eyes more to how other restaurants are. Some seem to have some form of success. Others look so empty it brings tears to my eyes. IHOP's used to be a comfort spot for my family and I, but now I don't recognize the place that used to bring me such warm feelings. Even with the COVID procedures placed, such as temp checks and writing down names of customers in case of outbreak, I don't feel comfortable going back. Do I hold hope for a return to normalcy and a better future? Or do I resign myself to the feelings of despair and pain COVID-19 has inflicted in me and so many others?
Because I feel me da un poquito de miedo. I feel like pretty scared. Because, you know, we have to take care about our health, our customer care, everything. Y también trabajar con la mascarilla ha sido un poquito difícil.
Si esto no se va, no creo que we're gonna survive the business. The business is not gonna survive. That's what I think.
Am I worried about a second wave? Not really. 'Cause I know at the end of the day we can get I feel like we can get through anything at this point, especially as a restaurant. And we went through it the first time. We stayed open pretty much the whole pandemic. So I'm pretty sure if we could do it, throughout the first time, which was kind of bad, I feel like we can do it again.
Stick tuned for the next part of my COVID-19 New York City report.